I'd give the time, but we're out of the morning show. Welcome back to the Bob and Brian Radiothon. Go ahead, roll his theme. It's time. Oh, you're going to like that. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the program. Voice of the Milwaukee Brewers, one of the voices of the Milwaukee Brewers, Brian Anderson. Good morning, B.A. How are you?
Good morning. It's 10:47, 47 past the hour.
Yeah. You ever spin records? Were you ever a jock?
No, I didn't drift that far. I worked at a radio station that next door was spinning records, but I was running the carts on the Rush Limbaugh show back then.
Okay.
Oh, really?
Really? Yeah. Carts.
See, you guys all know about bulking the carts. Like
Sure.
that was my job, bulking the carts. I actually bulked a Rush Limbaugh show before it aired once. That was a bad day.
Bulk means erase. He erased the run before it aired.
And carts are a short for country.
I had to run yesterday's show, which, was kind of old news at that point. As you know, he was pretty controversial back in 1991.
Yeah, and topical, too. Yeah. Was it mislabeled when you bulked it, when you erased it?
Oh, no, it's pretty much just operator error. I was in like a bulking binge, I was just erasing. Radio station was so cheap. KTSA in San Antonio, AM 55 on your radio dial.
You were in a bulk frenzy. Couldn't stop yourself.
I was in a bowl. It was I love doing that. It was like my favorite.
Where were you rushing off to is what I kind of want to know during that time period.
I had to... that's exactly what I was trying to do, get out of there.
Yep.
I like how you never lowered yourself to being a DJ.
Right.
Like, I'll do just about anything, but I'm not going to throw DJ on the resume.
Was the Bob and Brian of San Antonio. You may even know these guys. They were known as Lyle and Han, and they were, it was the same thing. Like, it was a hard rock station. It was like funny guys. They were great camaraderie, and they're called Lyle and Han, and that's what we all wanted to work on that show.
Yeah,
kind of like everybody wanted to work on your show in the 90s.
This may come as a shock to you, but all of us in radio don't know each other. Matter of fact,
I figured you guys were just friends because. You're doing the same bits. When I got to Milwaukee, I go, wait, Lyle? Like Lyle and Han show.
I was talking to Lyle the other night,
Yeah.
Heidi and Frank.
I was going to open up. I was going to refer to you as, you used to be, I would call you a Milwaukee gem, but I think now you've become a national gem, Brian, in all seriousness.
I don't know. That's up for others to decide, but I know I'm overexposed on the national side. Like, I can't get off the air right now. Every time
That's good,
you look,
right?
I'm on somewhere, which is a good problem, but I'm glad to get my life back this weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're all done with the tournament, right?
All done. Yeah, I started baseball, actually. We did a game Tuesday. We did a Yankees-Mariners game, so I went straight from San Jose, where I was there for the Sweet 16 and Elite 8, and then I just popped up to Seattle. And then we did our first Tuesday game. It's called MLB Tuesday, which airs on TBS. So I did that game, and then now I just got back and taking the weekend off, and I have another TBS game Tuesday in Toronto. World Series rematch. Yankees,
International in Toronto.
Jays.
That's another country. Yeah. International.
You can watch it in the United States on TBS, but then I'll be back with the Brewers on the 10th. So I'm coming back for the Washington series, which I'm looking forward to. I don't have the NBA playoffs anymore because we don't do the NBA. We lost the rights. My network did. So that opened me up for a ton of April games and May games, and I'm excited about that. So I'm looking forward to getting back with our boys.
You're in the tennis world, too.
Yeah, don't forget about that. You got a trip to France.
No, I haven't. Yes, that's May. I leave May 20th for Paris. I'll be gone 3 weeks for Roland Garros. Which is a blast. So such a cool event. And then I'll be back in June, resume with the Brewers.
What is a weekend?
Sportscaster dreams.
Like you show up with no pants.
Nightmare.
No, I lived the sportscaster's nightmare. Actually, I lost my voice.
Oh, that's right. The first round of the first day of the tournament. That's right.
Yeah, first day of the tournament. It's like the most anticipated day, the hardest day of the schedule, the funnest day, the day you spend, 4 days preparing for, studying around the clock. It's like preparing for, the LSAT or something. and then then I couldn't go. I didn't feel that bad. I just had nothing in the voice. Couldn't deliver. I couldn't make a sound.
I was going through just spooling through the internet like I do every morning, get my stuff together, and then I just kind of, okay, what's on the internet here? A few minutes before you jump into the studio. And I saw the thing, there was a picture of you, but it was kind of a cryptic headline. And I thought, I'm not jumping on that. BA's not doing anything controversial.
Did he finally break his silence?
Right, that's always the thing. Brian Anderson breaks his silence.
Oh, yeah.
I know. I got so many concern text about that, because all the aggregators are, instead of just saying, Anderson's out sick, it was Anderson has been replaced. Anderson abruptly removed from the NCAA tournament. It's like, ooh, what did he do? What kind of scandal? Did he roll a car? Did he? Who knows?
Roll a car. Yeah, I know what you mean by there. I get it. I get it.
You're not Andy North.
Andy wouldn't say that.
Andy would not say that. We didn't even bring up rolled cars with Andy.
We really didn't.
Yeah, I didn't bring up.
That's nice of you.
I didn't bring up live with Andy.
No.
Oh, man. Even nicer of you.
As much as we've talked to see, now we're talking to Brian Anderson about talking to Andy North and things we didn't talk about with Andy North. God, we are the worst interviewers.
Paul Feinbaum getting better all the time.
I love me some Andy North. I didn't know he was on before me. That's a tough act to follow.
Yeah.
He'll be fine.
Yeah, he's one of my favorites.
Ours too.
You were talking about having to go from calling basketball to flying to Toronto to do the game, and it made me think... Seattle, sorry.
A good interviewer always listens.
Maybe someday. Maybe someday, Brian.
Toronto's next week. You had it sort of right.
But I was listening to a Tirico interview right after the Olympics ended. He was talking on a show, and he said, all right, so the Olympics are over, and he had flown from the Super Bowl to the Olympics. I mean, he got done, finished the call, got on a plane, flew to the Olympics, and started like 12 hours later being the guy in the clubhouse calling, doing the Olympics, throwing it around. And then that ended, and he said, now I've got to get back because I have NBA games I have to do. Mm-hmm. And I thought, when does this guy sleep? And you're kind of doing the same thing. You finished with basketball, and now you shoot right into baseball. I mean, that's those are two totally different disciplines.
Yeah, you change a little bit. The difference between me and Mike Tirico, he's flying on a G7 with a bed in the back.
And you're in a G6.
And I am not.
Yeah.
No, it's it's all good. Those of us who do the multiple sports, and most of us have kind of done it that way since we started. So it doesn't feel like a big deal, honestly. The travel can get to you. And part of the reason I lost my voice and got sick as I did is because there was a blizzard that was rolling through. I had to get from Dayton, Ohio to Buffalo, and there was no flights and all the TSA problems, and there was a blizzard and 40-mile-an-hour wind. So we drove, and what's typically a 5-hour drive took 7. So we rolled in at 7 a.m. after the first 4 game, which was on a Tuesday. So now my producer and I drive to Buffalo. But yeah, that's the only risk of doing all these sports and changing lanes like that is it's not really the research or the prep. It's just more like getting there. And now maybe you're doing outdoor sports. So the game I did in Seattle, it was 43 degrees. And you're outside. It's there's a roof over top, but it's still kind of an outdoor feel. Whereas in a basketball arena, that your sight line is down below, so you're on the floor. Those are the things that affect me, is just the changing of how you watch the game, as opposed to 2 or 3 levels up in a press box. Basketball, you're right down on the floor, so then you have to readjust your eyes. So what I do is, like, I go for that first baseball game, the day before, I went and sat in the booth, and I just watched batting practice. Like, I watched the ball flight in play, as they're hitting the ball. Now watch it, and okay, well that went to the warning track, or that went to the seats, and I'm just trying to readjust my settings for the new sports. And then the vocabulary change and the words you use, some of the vernacular changes for the different sports. But that's pretty simple at this point for me.
I want to loop back to the Dayton to Buffalo trip in the blizzard that you made that took 7 hours, should have taken 5 hours. I don't want you to say what vehicle you were in, but I have an idea. Are you ready for an idea, Brian?
Okay, go ahead.
Do with this what you want. I'm talking to Brian Anderson. Caught him on the tournament. Be back with the Brewers, calling TNT baseball. Okay, here's. We just picture this. You come out of a building and it's a blizzard outside. You've got your coat on, you've got your briefcase after a game, and you get into a car, whatever car it is, and you say, when I have to get to a ball game, I trust blank, and it's some four-wheel or all-wheel drive thing, and it shows you getting through the snow and then arriving in Buffalo and getting out and going inside and the crowd's going and all that stuff. What do you think? Huh?
That's a great endorsement deal, man.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. Now,
I wish we would have thought of that, because we were not in that kind of setup. And our driver was nodding off, falling asleep.
Whoa!
So it was like, the scene in planes, trains, and automobiles when they look at each other and their skeletons?
Yes.
That's the way my producer and I were. There was no sleeping going on. We were gripping the door handle.
So that was.
I should send you the video. I actually took a video of the harrowing drive that we. I'd have preferred to drive myself. At least I have some control over the matter. But being tossed around in the back of an SUV was not ideal. But,
okay, so the March Madness job comes with, we'll get you to the game, right?
Hazard pay, yeah. We'll get you there.
But usually that's a plane ride.
Yep.
But this time they said, we're going to send you a driver in a car.
Yeah, the show must go on.
Yeah.
And there was no planes. There was no planes available.
Yeah.
So, the part nobody talks about in the tournament that first day is it's not that you do 4 games on, for in our case Thursday, which I wasn't able to do, but it's the 8 practices the day before. And, you're seeing a lot of these teams for the first time. Yeah. Obviously, I'd seen Michigan and Michigan State, and I knew. But you're getting 8 teams, and, one of them's a 16 seed, and you've never seen this team ever in your life. So that day is the most important day. You sit at practices. They come one after another. They go like, an hour and 15 apiece. So you sit there for 10 hours, and you just do one team after another, and you write as many notes as you can. You talk to the SID, you talk to the coach, you usually talk to 2 players, and it's just like rinse and repeat, one after another, times 8. And that's what I wasn't able to do. So obviously there was no way I was going to be able to call games because I couldn't do the prep part of it. That was really the issue. It's like I was probably fine to be on the air, and if it was a Brewers game, I would have been able to do it because I have institutional knowledge, but not in that scenario. There's no way.
How much help do you get when it comes to people saying things in your ear or identifying something or?
Yeah, that doesn't, the in the ear thing doesn't happen much. I know people ask me that all the time about, they must be just telling you in your ear. The thing that happens in your ear is a countdown, or, what's next, or here's a package on Yaxel Lindeborg, that they're telling you what's being prepared. As far as like research, and I do have a stats guy, and he's doing like the game flow, the runs, what's the 3-point shooting, stuff that's inside the game. But the rest of the stuff is, we have a research department, CBS and TNT combined, so there is a lot of volume of information of like, background information on that, you have to read and digest. But mostly my MO and my lesson to young announcers is get it yourself. Like, go get what you can get and quote players and quote coaches. And
I think that's why you must get asked that question a lot, is because it's hard to believe anyone could remember all the stuff you remember.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't remember. Well, I remember some. If I write it down, I'll remember it better. But mostly, you're furiously writing it down. That's why that day's so hard, because you can't really go deep.
The other problem with writing it down is you could be looking down for a note and miss something that just happened out there while you're looking for that one line that you're going, what was I, what happened?
Yeah. No, that happens a lot, and then especially as I'm getting older, I'm 54 now, and I'm like, damn, I'm forgetting a lot of things that I used to just remember. Like, I wouldn't even think about that. So I actually have to be a little more diligent on, did I write that down, or do I really know that?
More broadcaster bad dreams.
You have to memorize those rosters, right, Brian? You can't keep looking down at a sheet and going, who's 10, who's 15?
In basketball.
And the pronunciations. Yep. And it's
100%. That's the hardest part, is just knowing how they say their names, how they, and then just like the visual of, okay, this guy is Johnson, this guy is Jones, this guy is Smith, this guy is Pekovic. So it's like a lot of that. You go around and you watch video, and I'll pause it with all 5 players on the floor, and I'll just memorize it. Because in basketball, if you look down, you're dead. You're going to miss something.
Yeah, and you can't sit there and go, bah, 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 that guy, that guy did it.
Yeah, number 12.
Right.
Number 12. I did a game with Norm Van Leer once, the great Norm Van Leer, and he showed up 10 minutes before we went on the air. This is like in the early 2000s.
Sure.
God rest his soul. But he didn't know a single player. So we called everybody. The point guard got to get that ball to the big man. The big man's got to get that ball to the wing. The wing's got to get that ball to the shooter. The shooter's over there in the corner. And he did the whole game that way.
Wow.
So I would come back and go, yeah, that's Wilson. And then he passes over to Smith. Yeah, Smith. And then he forgot my name. So he started calling me B. And then he left.
Did you? Was that the only game you ever did with Norm?
It was the only game. It was a triumph in broadcasting. The guy didn't do any prep. He showed up. He did the game, and he left. And
was he pleasant? Was he pleasant enough?
Oh, he was amazing. I loved him. He was awesome.
We've all had our favorite calls in sports. We've all heard them. The "in your life" or "yes sir" or whatever. Jack Buck making a call. What call is your favorite in sports that you've heard?
Of all time?
Just sure. Let's start there. All time. And we'll work back to your top 100, okay?
Yeah, I mean...
going to be here for a while, Brian.
Probably Vin Scully, the Kirk Gibson home run was amazing. She is gone, and then he laid out for like 2 minutes, and he came back in a year of the impossible, or improbable. In a year of the improbable, the impossible has happened. Al Michaels, Do You Believe in Miracles, probably on that list as well.
Okay.
I'd say those two are the ones that, if you got to go all-timers, those are all-timers for sure.
What game do you wish you could have called that somebody else did? I mean, it could have happened 50 years ago, 10 years ago.
I think any dramatic Masters finish would have been on my list. I'm not that old, but, like Ben Crenshaw, winning in his 40s, Jack coming back to win, like anything kind of Masters related, Tiger's run, those would have been amazing
And that's got to be way different
to be a part of,
than basketball. I mean, golf. You're really...
Yeah, I mean, I was lucky enough to call 2 historical moments that, I'm very grateful that it landed on my name, and which was LeBron's scoring record. He broke Kareem's record, and then Stephen Curry broke the 3-point record. But yeah, like as far as buzzer beaters and dramatic moments, those are. Johnny Most had a great call to Celtics. There's a steal by Bird.
But that was the voice too. Yeah. That was
a lot of cigarettes and whiskey.
Right. You had that a couple weeks ago and it wasn't working for you.
No, I was trying. I mean, I was trying.
Maybe you should find a vegetable like Bill Raftery. Onions. You could yell peppers.
See, that's the thing.
Peppers is good.
To the point where I Googled, does alcohol improve a cold?
Yeah.
My answer is...
Because Raph's like, oh, no, you just throw down a couple of bottles of wine. It'll kill it'll kill all the viruses you have, which is not actually medically a fact.
What did he study in school anyway? Was it a medical thing or... Was he studying nursing? Maybe
Bill Raftery?
Everything. He's whatever he's learned in his life. He's learned sitting at the post of that bar.
One of my favorite moments of the tournament was the basket made by UConn. I mean, it was so great. But it wasn't watching the ball go in necessarily. That was great. I mean, that shot was impossible. That play could not happen. The odds are just it can't happen. Yes. But it did. And watching the video of Grant Hill and Bill Raftery, just their faces, Bill looked like he had just been hit in the back of the head. He was that blank. His face was that
Yeah, he looked
blank.
like the soul left his body for a minute. Which
Right.
I love Grant's comment because, Grant and I worked together through the year. He's a good pal, and he said, man, that's exactly what I look like when I'm sitting at the bar with Raft. Like he's ordering another bottle?
I mean, it was just that can't happen. So with that said, who do you like that's left in the tournament? Who's going to win it? Who's our national championship on Monday night?
I like Arizona, but this semifinal game, Arizona-Michigan, is crazy. It's probably one of the greatest college basketball matchups I remember. I don't think there's ever been two teams that good, first of all. It should be the national championship game, but yeah, I like Arizona a lot. Michigan's really good, though. Man, that's going to be a war.
Would you bet against UConn at this point? I mean,
yeah, I would. Yeah, I think either one of those teams. I think UConn can beat Illinois. I think Illinois is better than UConn. I think UConn's the worst of the four, and they're great. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But I think they're the worst of the four. They do have a little something special in them, though, that there's a little mystical piece to them. I think they tapped into the basketball gods' deposits, though. I think
their account has to be empty, right? It might actually there might actually be a deficit. There might be a note going in the mail.
Yeah, for years, for decades, even after that one. But no, Michigan and Arizona by far are the two best teams there, and I think Arizona's a little bit better. But man, it's a pick 'em. Yeah, it's going to be a great game. I can't wait to watch tomorrow.
That tournament just does not disappoint year after year after year. It just does not.
I've been doing it 15 years, and it's the coolest thing. It's the hardest thing I do every year, but the coolest thing. And it keeps delivering, the massive audiences, and the play's never been better, because they opened up play eligibility for like a lot of European players, and obviously NIL guys are staying in school because they're making more money than going and playing in Greece or Europe or being on a G League squad. So that level of player, the second layer of talent is not leaving to go play professionally. So the game's never been better as far as the competition on the floor, which is why Arizona and Michigan have such amazing rosters, like I said, not in my time. I've been covering college basketball for almost 30 years. I've never seen rosters built like this in the college game.
Talking to Brian Anderson. What do you miss most about AmFam Field? What are you gonna enjoy the most when you get back there?
I love the booth and the setup and the TV family we have. Rock and Renee, our stage manager, Dom, our stats guy. And obviously all the people on the air I work with. Sophia and Craig, Tim, Vinny, and Steven, those relationships. That's what I love. And we have a great crew, man. I try to tell as many people this as I can around the country, but I love the way we're distributing the games now, which is called MLB Local, and then it's really, taking some of the handcuffs off our crew. We had a lot of restraints in the old way with just equipment and didn't have the best, didn't have the most. And now we do. We have a lot of toys, and it's fun. We have a lot of things that our director, John Walsh, can utilize, and it shows the skill of all of our camera operators, many of whom have been around for 2 and 3 decades. And they love the Brewers, and they're all accomplished on a national scale in their own right, many of them. Probably half of our crew is doing national packages either in the NFL or golf or somewhere. So that's what I miss, just being around the squad, not necessarily our team on the field, which I love, and it's great to be around them, but our team, our TV team.
And you'll be back in the booth when?
The 10th. Next Friday.
Against when they take on the Gnats. When they take on the Gnats.
I'll be there for
I can't even call them the hated Gnats because they've been bad. I mean, they won a World Series, but they've been bad ever since. You know,
I know.
So you can't really hate them.
The Cubs though first series, so that's good.
What's that?
They took care of the Cubs in that first series. Our old guy, our guy Joey Weimer, did a number on the Cubs at Wrigley.
Yeah. So, no mercy. Sorry, but, not really hateable. Hey, we're going to wear out your voice, and you're not going to be ready to do anything. You're going to be right back to square one.
Right back when you
got to Buffalo, exactly. But, Brian,
nothing like hanging out at the Buffalo Medical Clinic while the greatest sporting event TV's going on.
Did they have wings anyway on the desk? Did they have,
everywhere.
Yeah.
Everywhere. And the place that started it, was right there, right by the hotel. So,
yeah.
Hey, thanks for pitching in here today.
Helping us out with the MACC Fund, with the Radiothon, Brian. We appreciate
always,
it.
Man, you guys do a great thing, and always want to support the MACC Fund in whatever way we can. Anytime.
All right. Brian, looking forward to getting you back on Brewer games. We'll talk to you soon.
Yep, you guys are always welcome.
Brian
in the booth.
Brian, what?
Whoa!
What?
Anytime.
No, you're supposed to hang up at that point. Did he say we could come up to the booth and you're not there?
We can't put you on the air because you're not qualified.
We're not qualified.
You can come hang out.
Fair enough. I don't disagree with that statement. Brian, thanks again.
See you guys.
Brian Anderson. It's the Bob and Brian MACC Fund Radiothon on the Hog.